Soha Tayata Om Mune Mune Maha Munaye Soha Tayata Om Mune Mune Maha Munaye Saki Pergi Mito Sam Ravling Tin and Dangyam Party Sange Jingdu Mede Buwai Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Gamneya Dayami.
Good afternoon. Okay. Any questions?
Hello, thank you Geshe for your teachings.
Thank you.
I've got some questions from our group discussion. One was, can you take Bodhisattva vows without Refuge vows? And then the next question was, what are the downfalls of breaking a Bodhisattva vow?
What is the
downfalls? Breaking a Bodhisattva vow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, without refuge as a foundation, cannot take Bodhisattva vows. Yeah. So, let's say tomorrow, at under the Bodhi tree, at the stupa, so you recite this four-line Refuge and Bodhicitta prayer. So there you can also take the refuge together for the purpose of taking the Bodhisattva vow. So, but then still on 17 we will go through the proper ceremony also. Yeah. Then so first thing, it will create a great obstacle to accumulate extensive merits in while having this precious human rebirth. And then so many sentient beings will lap out, impacting through your good conducts, even though you may perform good conducts, but then because of let's say giving up bodhicitta, then the sentient beings won't able to receive the benefit that that you even when you dedicate, the downfall will create as obstacle. The frequency won't be so smooth to reach the dedications of your prayers, dedications of your practices towards the sentient being. So those are very much immediate consequences of breaking the precepts. Then for difficult to maybe encounter perfect Mayanic gurus, perfect or the environment of Mayanic Dharma, where you can again cultivate the vows. So all this indirectly create the karma within us. Then you may ask question, then from the very beginning I shouldn't take it. Then that's even worse. If you don't take, then those obstacles are already with us. By taking, even transgress is still more beneficial than completely not taking it. So something like that. Okay. But then if you go to one individual Buddhist precepts, then it has its own individual specific consequences. Each carries different characters of the different precepts, and according with that, there are immediate obstacles and also for long-term obstacles. So yeah, something like that.
Thank you, Geshe. So the question also on behalf of our group, discussion group. So we seek some clarification on the issue between ourselves and our mother. So since this body belongs to our mother, so how does that karmic mechanism works? So for example, if this body belongs to my mother, if I accumulate negative karma of killing mosquito, does my mom accumulate the same karma? Or if I do anything virtuous, does it mean that my mom also accumulates the same karma? Because it contradicts the characteristics of karma, that you cannot experience the outcome of the action which is not committed. Thank you.
Yes, I would say if you kill mosquito, the karma your mother also experience it. It's very difficult to accept and understand that, but the reality, whether the complete karma or not, that's complete in the sense even yourself also not necessarily create the complete karma of killing mosquito, because they need to encounter all the four factors. But then as long as physical involvement is there, or physical aggregates, not just the hands and legs, but also physical organs involved to create karma, then the parent will receive it, because those basis of those organs belong to the parent. So good or bad, same. Yes. Yes.
Based on that question, Geshe, thank you. Based on that question, is it same with the father, 50-50, 100-100?
Yeah, same with the father. Yeah. Yeah, same.
On that question too, Geshe, thank you. If our mother does something negative, does that come?
No.
No. Okay.
Only upward.
Okay. Thank you.
Because we carry their body, they don't carry our body. Even though same DNA, but the physical body we have is received from them, not contribute upward, to contribute to them. So Okay, even it is not, there's there's only benefit asserting that way. Even in case, in the whatever karma we commit, our parents do not receive it, but asserting that it will receive it, there's only benefit, there's no harm. Is there any harm accepting that? It hurts sometimes our egos, but beside that, no harm. Is there any harm? Can you think about it? Is there, let's say, whatever karma, good or bad, that I, as a children, I create, and my parent will receive it. Those who commit a lot of negative karma, that's quite concerning. But those who commit a lot of good karma, that's quite celebrating, isn't it? So those who create more good karma or decided to dedicate rest of our life in a virtue, and that's a huge celebration, huge applause. I mean, our parents are in any way, whether our emotion accept or not, reality, they are the most precious. They are the closest. They are the kindest in our life. Whether our emotion understand or not, that's a different thing. But reality is that. But the logical reason I have given, on the first day, like by utilizing our physical body to create merit, even though we don't have an intention, motivation, but using physical body to accumulate merit by going around the stupa, we will accumulate merit, isn't it? Because we are using part of our aggregates, which is our body. So let's say we bring animal around the stupa. The animal receive the benefit. Animal themselves will accumulate merit, isn't it? If you get a mosquito to bring around the stupa, the mosquito will accumulate merit. Mosquito have no motivation to go around the stupa because of the physical body, even by the other's force. But then by the power of the object and by the condition of the physical body of the mosquito happen to go around the stupa, that's why mosquito accumulate merit 100%. Whatever accumulate, he will receive it. So similarly, the body that we have, it's belong to our parent. Scientists, is there any scientists here? Medical scientists? Can you agree that our body is our parents' body? We talk about DNA, we have the same DNA, but more than that, the substance we receive from our father, mother, that's the whole potential, grow the bones and bloods, the fluids, the tangible, or the organs, everything is grow from there, isn't it? If that is not needed, then the spirit alone can take human rebirth, but won't able to. Spirit alone cannot take rebirth, human rebirth. You need human father, mother. So in a Vinaya Sutra, talk about three substance: father, mother's egg, father's sperm, then dissenyavadua, the consciousness or the spirit of the previous life. These three come together, then form a human life. Just one cannot, just two also cannot, must have these three. And one that completely belongs to us is the continuum of the consciousness only. the true physical substance is received from other, which is from our parent. Then, as I mentioned, especially from tantric point of view, we talk about indestructible drop, innermost subtle body, subtle body. The subtle body and innermost subtle bodies are our parents' body, not ours. From the very first day came into inception, all the nervous systems are already established. The human nervous system, scientifically, okay, it's still time to grow. It's still scientifically, maybe don't know whether even regard as a human being yet or not. But from Buddhist understanding, karmical understanding, the moment these three things came together, right there, form a human being. Even on the very very next moment, the conceiving of the consciousness into this true substance is a human being. So that time we don't have that continuum of yours. Don't have any new physical body that which come out of our own effort. What we have, that physical aggregates, the physical aggregates is totally of our parents, and gradually, by the conditions of the elements, then nutrition that you receive from mother, then gradually, that subtle substance develop into greater and greater. So as long as that just conceived being is a human being, then has intact or human aggregates, and that aggregates, with the microscope you can't detect, but that aggregate, complete aggregate, still exists, and that's the subtle aggregates. More than that, there's the innermost subtle aggregates also there. So what we carry now is build up on that, gradual development into bigger and bigger sizes. So just that. So therefore, without any doubt that we have the parents' body, and using our parents' body to go around the stupa, doesn't parent accumulate merit? Just mosquito also accumulate merit. The animal accumulate merit. Why not us? Why not the parent? Then I will, Lama Rinpoche put so much effort. Not many people do that, but Rinpoche does that. You see, if he find a flies or something, even put in the plastic and go bring around the stupa, because the fly will accumulate merit. He has quite a number of animal sanctuary, and they build stupa. And one of the main job of the animal caretaker is to bring them around the stupa. Then recite mantras. They don't have motivation, but just stay close the physical existence of that animal to the mantras, to the sound of the mantras, to the holy object. They receive the benefit of purification. They receive the benefit of accumulations of merits. Because of their aggregates are present, because their aggregates are utilized. So that's the thing. So I'm saying from this point of view, from this reasoning, not so emotional one. That there's a bit of logic, and try to. I also doubt in the beginning, how this possible, So try to meditate, try to find reasonings. So for me, undoubtedly establish the reasoning in me. So I'm openly share, but I always get into trouble. And sometimes some good reasoning come up to convince, and sometimes it doesn't. The mind will get blocked. Then that's it. So in any way, there's anyways is the benefit, yeah. But those of you as a mother and father, if your children are a bit naughty, then that's a bit of concerning. But all of us have our parents, So that part, knowing that yourself practicing virtues, and that is really uplifting, especially some of individual, their parents may there, so no need to feel that you can't do anything. In fact, you can, as long as you have this bodies of her with you, utilize it, and she will receive everything what you do, and that's very, very comforting actually. Yeah, there's someone here. Yeah.
Geshe, I would like to ask about the pervasive compounded suffering. I think you mentioned on day 1 or 2. If you could elaborate on that and the difference to the other types of suffering.
Okay. So pervasive compounded suffering, the samsaric aggregates is the pervasive compounded suffering, or anything that is product of karma and delusion in your world, in your world, that is your pervasive compounded suffering. Anything that is a result of karma and delusion of our world, that is our samsara. So in the Four Noble Truth, the truth of suffering is the pervasive compounded suffering, the truth of the suffering. So what is that? That phenomena that which is by production of karma and delusion is called truth of suffering. So that comes in our physical form, our mental form, our feeling, our compositional factors, as an environment. So whatever I see, even the trees, it is my samsara. It is compounded, pervasive compounded suffering. Even the trees, even the rocks, even the ocean, everything that I experience through my 5 senses, the senses that which is dualistic or hallucinated one, as whatever you perceive it, all are my samsara, all are pervasive compounded suffering. Not because of the tree tree suffer, because of relating to the tree I suffer. I experience good and bad in relation to the tree. You see, in relation to the physical body that I have this different, different form of experiences of suffering that occurs, like such as suffering of pain, suffering of change, and then just carrying this aggregate that is production of karma and delusion itself is carrying, living in the suffering. So that sounds like quite depressing, but that's the truth. So in order to overcome the pervasive compounded suffering, we need to overcome karma and delusion. So the way to overcome is to free from the control of karma and delusion. So therefore, just discarding this body is not good enough to be free from pervasive compounded suffering. discarding this body can be a solution to overcome suffering or pain or suffering of change, but it's not a solution to be free from suffering or pervasive compounded suffering. So to be free from pervasive compounded suffering has to purify the karma and delusion. So therefore, like what Buddha said, when he teaches the Four Noble Truths, suffering is to be known. If you want, after you know the suffering, which is not helpful, which is painful, then need to purify. The way to purify, then it is causes to be purified. Suffering is to be known. It is causes to be purified. Then nirvana to be achieved, and the path to be adopted. So this is pervasive compounded suffering. They say in Tibetan very nicely, they say tuk tengi pungbo. Dukden is the Dungal Dempa is very much like truth of suffering. Pungbo is form. So it's meaning it is my samsara. It is my suffering. It is my pervasive compounded suffering, because of it is product of karma and delusion. So not only physical, my mind too. My mind at the moment, is function according with my karma, past karmic imprint. My mind expresses according with the control of delusion, hallucination, dualistic. You see, therefore, as long as these truths are not purified, samsara is not purified, because keep committing causes of samsara. The false view, the dualistic view, is the ignorant, and the ignorant itself is the most powerful, causes for the pain, for the suffering. The karma only commit because of ignorant. If there's no ignorant, no karma. So therefore, it make even a statement that the perception of ordinary beings are all false. Means all not beneficial. That's very much talking about the instinct by motivation. All those are not beneficial, because always relate to the object dualistically, ignorantly, delusionally. Then that's the way that we keep committing karma. So this is my samsara also. This is my pervasive compounded suffering. Even my hair is pervasive compounded suffering. So something like that.
Thank you, Geshe. A question arose.
Sorry, one more. Sorry, okay. Yeah, I suddenly remember. There's another, meaning in Tibetan. It's a chapa dujegi dunge. Chapa means all pervasive. Pervasive. Why this human aggregates, what we have now, is all pervasive suffering? Because this is the suffering product of negative cause of the past, and this is the base that which accumulate causes for future suffering, and this is the base that which presently you experience suffering. So all pervasive in the three times, servicing to experience the suffering, either by creating cause of suffering, or either presently experiencing the result of the suffering. That's why I call all pervasive and suffering. So called chapa dujegi dungne, like that. Sorry.
Thank you, Geshe. During the group discussion, a question arose about the exact kind of connection that you would have with you by taking refuge and Bodhisattva vows. The connection, the relationship, guru, root guru, teacher, benefit, everything, commitment, everything.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So refuge precept and Bodhisattva precepts, you can you can take as from an elder, like a senior sangha, or just a common teacher, or you can also take as your guru. So therefore, there's a section which will introduce, say, Leben Gongso Se or Zumba Gongso Se. So if you are regarding that person, the preceptor, as your guru, then say Leben Gongso Se. If you are regarding that person as just a preceptor, like ceremonial, like a priest, ceremonial, senior, then Zumba Gongso Se. So both the refuge and Buddhist individual wish to establish guru-disciple relationship with any teacher. One of the way is through receiving vows. That's one of the way to kind of like sign contract. It's a signature. So it's to take vows. So when you go to take vows at the refuge vows, Buddhist vows, Bible vows, tantric vows, initiations, or monastic vows, then you establish guru-disciple relationship, with your own choice. Then another way to establish guru-disciple relationship is through during the commentary. So if you receive commentary on Buddhist teaching, then there you can use that as establishing guru-disciple relationship. Then another environment is where you receive oral transmissions of mantra, oral transmissions of sutras, then of course, as for initiation, then there's no choice. If you are receiving initiation, then means that you already regard that person as your guru. So now you are receiving the initiation precepts, or initiation. Then, as for the monastic vow, when you receive monastic vow, so there are many, minimum like 4 sanghas to be present, including of the main abbot. So for some individual, take that opportunity to regard all the involved sangha as your guru. For some individual, they just regard the principal one, or you can even have a choice that you just receive this from the community, sangha community, but not establishing relationship with one individual preceptor as your guru. So there are many ways to do that. So as for refuge and Bodhisattva vows, you see, usually, refuge is something first you should take from a preceptor, but then when you aspire to take Bodhisattva vow, but you don't have refuge vow, then that cannot be obstacle to take the Bodhisattva vow. Therefore, that's why at the beginning I said, for the reason to take Bodhisattva vow, you can take the refuge as a preliminary, even without the preceptor. But that's the only exception if you are in that kind of environment, but otherwise, Bodhisattva vows you can take without the teacher, but a refuge is not. Refuge is only if there's a reason. Like tomorrow, we're not going to have the refuge ceremony before that, but then we are going to the Mahabodhi temple, and that opportunity is very rare. So, and there we should take the opportunity to take refuge, because a Bodhisattva vow, but without refuge as a foundation can't. So that's the reason, like that. And another thing, when you take refuge, you are taking refuge from Buddha Dharma Sangha. You're not taking refuge from the preceptor. You're going for refuge to the Buddha Dharma Sangha. So the preceptor is just a ceremonial figure to channel you it's like kind of like tying the knot of the spiritual spiritual relationship with the Buddha Dharma Sangha and yours. So it's like a third party outside. So that it's good that you ask, because sometimes people thought that they're going for refuge in that preceptor. So actually you're going for refuge in Buddha Dharma Sangha, like that. Okay.
Sorry, just another question, because I'm newly ordained and I don't want to do something wrong, but I can go for refuge with you but not take the 5 lay vows.
Yeah, for just ordained Sangha, you don't retake the 5 lay vows.
But the refuge part, I can.
Refuge, yes. Refuge, you can repeat.
Thank you so much.
More that you repeat is better. Buddhist vow, more that you take is better. Yeah. Okay, someone behind.
Thank you. Geshe-la, it's about also the refuge. In the refuge book, the small one that I don't know, I'm sorry, but I remember that is saying, may I achieve the 4 wheels? It say, may I reach the 4 wheels of Mahayana vehicle? And may I 4 wheels?
Oh.
4.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And the 2 paths of the Tantra practice. Maybe someone have this book, the Refuge little book. So it's a 4 Mahayana wheels and 2 Tantra practice. I'm wondering what are those 4 and what are those 2?
I can't remember.
Okay.
Sorry, I can't remember. Sorry.
Okay, so for my second question.
Yeah, okay.
When in Kopan, when we took the Bodhisattva vows, so we been say that and read them after the ceremony.
Can you say again? Sorry, I didn't hear.
First we took the Bodhisattva vows, and only then we could go and read them and understand what we actually.
I see.
So my question, if it's always like this, and if yes, if there is a reason behind it, why first you take the commitment and only then you can read them? Because I was maybe if you know before, it can be better, because you can generate you can generate strong motivation and know exactly like what you're going into.
Yeah. For Buddhist vows, so Buddhist vows actually is not as strict as a Tantra. You can still study them before you take the precept. There's for tantric vow only, then you're not supposed to study them before you take it. So like when we do Guru Pujas, there's a section of taking Buddhist vows. So if you don't have Buddhist vow before, then it's like not necessary for you to read it. It's not like you don't read it. You're not allowed to read it. It's not necessary. But just to read for understanding, that's okay. But for tantric precepts, you cannot. So tantric precept, So without the initiation, then there's you know, the samaya that created you know, the tantric the exposure into tantra, that without permission, you know, you're not allowed to I'd say to read it, or to, you know. But then again, if you know, if you're the gurus, who has authorities, you know, the authorities are mainly through their realizations or certain the lineage, you know, the lineage responsibilities, then again they may give you access. So not generally, yes, not allowed before you receive initiation, not allowed to understand. In our common way of thinking, of course, something before you commit, good to know. So this is our way of thinking. But then but now when it comes to do with the tantra, is more about the concern of samaya. It's not much about the knowledge. It's more about the samaya. So samaya very much you know, very much defined by the gurus, you know, or the lineage gurus, you know, who designed the sadhanas, who designed the precepts. So yeah, mainly because of once you have the initiation, then when you read it, then the benefit will be maybe greater. The impact, you know, the whole purpose of you know, the learning the path is for realization, isn't it? And the realization, you know, not necessarily just by knowing the word correctly is the way to realization. Again, realization is mainly the blessing that which we receive from, again, the precepts or the samayas, you know. So yeah, and also there are a lot of the teaching, you know, in tantra. There's without explanation, you know, just simply reading it, very much may misunderstand. But when it comes to Bodhisattva precepts, there's, because of that, any tantra is only after permission, then you access to it, because most likely may misunderstand. But if you know that you won't misunderstand, you have this certain, you know, intelligent, then maybe, again, practically, I don't think there's any harm. And also, it depends what is your purpose. Your purpose is just to, because it's enlightened deities, there's no harm. Anything you relate to enlightened qualities, that's only benefit, only blessing, no harm, by even exposing it. But then if it's about your realization, if your spiritual purpose, then that is very much like didn't show the full respect, and that will obstacle. The obstacle also, you know, again, the earlier I said, otherwise then you don't even relate to your interest in tantra. If, you know, I want a spiritual benefit, but then I expose it, that becomes an obstacle. But if you never relate to it, it's worse. You see, so tantra is sangha sangwe tup. You know, sangha is a secret mantra. You actualize the benefit of secret mantra through secrecy. The more the secret, the more the more the secretly you practice, the greater the benefit and blessings. So that's why all the you know, the requirements, you know, you know, that that will kind of make it more how to say, more precious, or more less exposure, like that. Anyway.
Thank you.
So you got the text?
Yes.
Can you read out the whole thing?
I can try. So it's in the dedication, and it's the last part, saying, by the force of this merit may I never be parted in all my lives from the four wheels of the Mahayana vehicle, and may I reach the end of the journey along the path of renunciation, bodhicitta, the pure view, and the two stages of tantric practice. So I'm asking about the four wheels of Mahayana vehicles and two stages of tantric practice.
Yeah, two stage tantric practice, yes, but four wheel still is not coming in my brain. What is that? Maybe not helpful. My brain is stuck.
I thought it's like a metaphor, so you can have the whole vehicle, you need the four wheels. So, because there are three, it's mentioned the renunciation, bodhicitta, and pure views, which are three stages of the practice, but here it's a four vehicles, four wheels.
Anybody knows? Okay, we will check it out later. Yeah, the true stage of the path is the generation and completion stage. Yeah, four wheels. No, it's Mahayanic four wheels. Yeah. Okay, maybe you do homework and you tell all of us.
Okay.
What is that? Okay.
And the two stages of tantric practice?
That's generation and completion stages of the tantric practice. Generation stage. So that is the whole the main essence practice of High Soka Tantra. So these two stages of tantric practice only contain within the High Soka Tantric deity practices, even though there are four tantric schools, isn't it? There's a action tantra, yoga tantra, or say action tantra, kriya tantra, yoga tantra, and High Soka Tantra or Anuttara Yoga Tantra. So Anuttara Yoga Tantra carries these two stages of the tantric path, and that makes tantric path is a superest path to enlightenment because of these two different type of path. So there's a utilizations of clear light practice, illusory body practice, body mandala practice. So all these extensive practices are included in those stages of the practice. This one, four wheels of Mahayana vehicle, meeting with a genuine spiritual teacher. Thank you. So here, our sister. So four wheels of the Mahayana vehicle, meeting with a genuine spiritual teacher. Second one, meeting with a conducive environment for Dharma practice. Third, having abundance of accumulations of merit. Fourth, having a proper aspirational dedication. Yes, but I'm still there's no word coming in my. Usually some Tibetan words, goes in here, but this one, so I need to accumulate merit more. But thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Is anyone? Yeah. Our brother here. Okay, sure. Yeah.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey,
So-
thank you for your teachings.
Yeah, thank you.
Maybe you talked about this. About my question is about what is exactly merit. Is it similar to having pure intentions or intentions according to Dharma? Because I ask this because a question comes to me lots of times.
when there are instructions to do certain practices which there is not much conviction about them this moment, not much understanding. Also the intention to do them I don't feel is pure. So in that case, could it be better to do a different practice if we talk about bodhicitta, about helping others, which I understand more the benefit. For example, if I have a friend who needs my help and it's very obvious for me what I can do. I also think my intention to do it is more pure. So therefore maybe I might accumulate more merit. But maybe I also don't understand exactly what merit means. So that's my question. Thank you.
Thank you. So the merit, there's two kind of merits defined. The merit of, some call even merit of merits, or merit of methods, and merit of wisdom. So whatever positivity that you accumulate by any act to do with attitude, positive attitude like love, compassion, or even bodhicitta, and that positive accumulations are the merit or merit of method. This one type of method, one type of merit. Any positivity, any positive impact. That positivity could be, the arising of more quality, compassion or love, after, generating the heart of love or compassion. Because of that habitual, one-time habitual, will make our heart more closer. The impact is more closer, easier, more dedicated sense of the quality of love that comes in our way, or any positive impact that you're able to deliver to others or share with others, from the act of love, compassion, or any environmentally you create that positivity. When you generate a sense of compassion, the environment become very peaceful. If you generate a heart of love, the environment around you become very peaceful, very loving. So all those are the merit that generated by the heart of love and compassion. So this is called merit of methods. So this merit, if you continue to pile up more and more such merit, or if you continue to accumulate such positivity through loving kindness, compassion, then eventually it will grow to become bodhicitta, and eventually that will result as a Buddha's form body, which is very powerful tool to serve the well-being of sentient being. Very powerful tool. It's very much like when we are a little child, or when we are incapable physically to serve others, even physically, but you generate that heart, then you work it out with your physical strength. Eventually, you have this physical capability to able to deliver the act of love, act of compassion, engaging with others. It is similar like that. You see, first you generate from the heart, then that will eventually grow into many favorable factors to be more effective service to the sentient beings. So those are the merit of method. So merit of wisdom, any positivity that you accumulate mm, mm, cultivating the wisdom of selfless, wisdom of emptiness, or any possibility you accumulate by reducing graspings, like strong attachment to certain thing, strong aversion to certain thing, by reducing it, that naturally accumulate merit of wisdom. So by reducing strong, by eliminating or reducing strong grasping, that naturally also bring positive accumulations, isn't it? And those positive accumulations are merit of wisdom. So eventually this merit will develop to a we call the wisdom body, the positivity that which has not at all any limitations, free from all the limitations, the state of positivity which is free from all limitations. So that is the state of Dharmakaya, and that those are the result of merit of wisdom. Then for your other question, yes, any merit you accumulate, if there is correct motivation, correct actions, and correct dedication and correct object, that will be far more greater impact than just delivering the action but no motivation. So the best is that you aspire to perform that merit. Then the act of that the performance of that merit also something which is very beneficial, which is also by nature is positive. By nature is positive. Then the receiver also someone who is really vulnerable, someone who really needs that your benefit. Then at the end that you feel rejoice, you feel that I deliver what I supposed to do, like you feel fulfillment. So all these factors together, of course, the creations of that merit will be much more powerful than lacking of any of those elements. Like that. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So now I remember the word finally. He said in the Lama Chopa, Tekcho Kolo Shidam Middle Shing. Tekcho Kolo Shidam Middle Shing. So it's in Lama Chopa there, the text. So thank you. Now you make me create merit. Now I remember. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Geshe, for your teachings. My question is around the practice of seeing all sentient beings as your mother. I can see how that would be incredibly powerful tool. Just for me at the moment, I can see it for, say, strangers, for enemies even, but for, say, someone like a person who I don't really know who's abusing children, or a dictator who's doing horrible things and making a lot of people suffer, I can kind of feel how I could have compassion for their actions, but I guess I'm trying to get my head around how I could start to see them as my mother, because it's such an extreme. Like, have you got some ideas on how to try and get to that point?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so so the training, first start with the more positive, more what you call, usually you say we start the training with the loved one, then the stranger, then to the enemies. Or so in other ways, first start with those good people, then the neutral one, then to the bad people. So by then I think you will be much more softened. By the time that you already is able to view all strangers as your mother, then even those problem makers, you start to have a much more softer heart. I think you will reach, you will get there without choice. At the beginning it sounds difficult, but if you follow this track, we will reach there, you know. And generally, the problem makers, the harm givers, the sentient being who are causing so much harm, those need the most prayers, you know. Those need more attentions of love and compassion by others, because you know, if you know someone who is abusing or someone who is destroying the world, the people, majority of people, you know, they generate anger, a negative emotion towards them, and that actually fuel their negativities. It make them worse. So even one positive attention to this harm givers is necessary. It will act as a cure from those diseases, you know. So in this world, we know there are some, you know, certain people are so cruel, and naturally most people will get upset about them. But as a Dharma practitioner, as a practitioner of bodhicitta, you have to, instead of getting upset with them, you have to understand their karmic circumstances. So, you know, not just accepting or supporting their wrongdoing, but understanding they are under the control of the other's power, like karma and delusion, and also understanding how much they're going to suffer in future times because of the action they're committing now, you know. So then they are nothing than object of your compassion, object of your prayers, dedication for them to overcome, you know, all these wrongdoings. Yeah. So even today, time in the world, all the bad people, you know, we have to pray for them. Maybe we have to pray. They have to keep in the central object of our prayers. Yeah, like that.
Gisela, if you can elaborate more on the 18th root downfall. What exactly does it mean, and what is that line when it is really broken or not? Thank you.
Yeah, so as I mentioned this morning, the 4 factors. When the 4 factors beside the 9 and the number 18, the distorted view and the giving up bodhicitta, for that you don't need any conditions to break. The moment you give up bodhicitta, that's the transgression. But the rest of the others, you know, they require 4 factors to complete, and for that, you know, you kind of disrespect the vow, you know, disregard the vows, etc. There's 4 factors, so it's not so easy to break them. But as far as concerned the vows, even though there are 18 numbers and as well as 46 secondary vows, but that can sum up in the 7 categories of the paramitas, like 6 paramita plus you know, the what you call the heart of benefiting sentient being, the number 7. So as long as we live in the practice of, you know, the 3 kind of generosity, 3 kind of morality, then 3 kind of patience, then concentration, joyous effort, wisdom, then in your very best living, you know, offering service to the well-being of sentient being, then you are upholding this 18 root vows and 46 secondary vows. So if you give up any of these, you know, 7 paramitas, then you know, they may be defect, you know. But until the 4 things come together, it's quite difficult to break them. So giving up bodhicitta means that you know, I don't want to work for the benefit of sentient being. I rather work for myself. You know, like such as if you are still a spiritual practitioner, your ultimate objective is self-nirvana, then you have given up bodhicitta. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So I will go a little bit reading. So now we reach to the higher perception, or the shamatha, which is from verse 34 to 40. You know, it's talk about the karma biting, the teaching on karma biting, or shamatha, or single pointed concentration. So the whole objective of this practice is to be able to make your mind serviceable, to make your mind able to listen to you. You know, or very much, you know, bringing stop to the monkey mind. Concentration, or common karma biting trainings, which is common to Buddhists and non-Buddhists. Even the 9 stages of shamatha training, it is common with Buddhists and non-Buddhists. So non-Buddhist practitioners also, they actualize, you know, that high level of the 9 level of shamatha practices. So in Buddhist practice, the shamatha has to be within the 3 higher trainings. Not just the 3 trainings, but 3 higher trainings. So the higher training very much label the higher here referring for higher purpose. So the concentration training or shamatha training, just itself alone, there's a minimal benefit. There's a minimal benefit. So the higher purpose is to utilize the tool of wisdom of emptiness, along the path to eradicate the defilement and actualize the cessations, including enlightenment. That is the higher purpose. So then, if you train in shamatha, it becomes higher training, higher training in concentration. So labasum, in Tibetans, labasum is a common lakpe labasum, lakpa. So this kind of like higher or extra purpose, that is exceptional for Buddhist training in concentration. So in lamrim language, the higher purpose is to actualize special insight. In the language of lamrim, then why you need to develop shamatha, why you need to develop karma biting or serenity, it also called serenity, or single point concentration, is to develop special insight. Then the main focus, the teaching on shamatha, is mainly to overcome the 5 faults, which described in Maitreya's Mahayana Sutra. 5 faults through the 8 antidotes. So then, when the 5 faults, later we'll go through it, is summarize it in 2. The excitement and dullness, or in other words, is excitement and laxity. So these 2 are the main obstacle to achieve single pointed concentration, main obstacle to achieve the serviceable mind. Even though there are 8 antidotes, but if you summarize it into 2, mindfulness and introspection. So mindfulness and introspection. So when you train in shamatha, first you need to train in a preliminary training in concentration. So you have to, before you get into actual shamatha training, first we need to develop certain degree of stabilizing our concentration on chosen object of meditation. And that meditation need to carry three qualities, which is it has to be trained from the very beginning even in the preliminary level. Then along the actual shamatha training, there are 9 different stages of levels of mind you develop. The stages of concentration develop. Based on that, it defined there are 9 stages of the level of strength of concentration. And main thing to be achieved is this 3 quality. The first one is vivid clarity to the chosen object. Vivid clarity to the chosen object. Second quality is one-pointedness, single-pointedness without any distraction to that vivid, clear object. Third quality is the pliancy, the mental and physical relaxedness, calmness, peacefulness, joyfulness. So these 3. So the 9 level of development of the shamatha will determine by the qualities of these three characteristics. You see, so more the concentration we develop, clearer to the chosen object it remain. More the concentration develop, longer the single pointedness achieve. More the concentration develop, more the joy arrive in your body and mind. So like that. So, and that happens by limiting these 2 obstacles. The excitement, such as attachment is excitement. The distractions of many objects is excitement. All the activities of the senses engaging with objects are all obstacle, all in the category of excitement. Obstacle as excitement. So when we train in concentration, first at the preliminary level, you need to choose the object of your concentration. So that itself may take some time. First, as far as concerned the preliminary training on the concentration, you can train that focusing on the light, focusing on the breathing, focusing on any part of the Buddha's holy body, like Buddha's eye, or any kind of mantra, om, etc., or any kind of sound. But then after some time, training concentration on many objects, you will come to a conclusion that this object is like most familiar, most easy to place your mind, and most simple. So as simple as possible, as familiar as possible. Then after you make decision, then from that onward, then cannot change the object of your concentration training until you achieve the shamatha, the 9 level of the highest degree of single pointedness. So you choose. If you decided to choose light, then light. If you decided to choose Buddha's eye, 2 eye, 1 eye, that's it. So while meditating, while training in concentration on Buddha's eye, that is your chosen object, then along the meditation, suddenly whole Buddha's face appear to you, and some more Buddha smiling at you. Is good or bad? For shamatha, it's bad. Of course, Buddha smiling at you is so auspicious in general, isn't it? Yeah. But for the single-pointed concentration training, then that is obstacle. And what kind of obstacle? In the category of excitement. So you see. So so the exercise is, once you choose the eye, then if there's any distraction, like such as appearing as a whole face, then you need to meditate or retrain in the concentration again and again and again. So for that, you need the assistance of mindfulness and introspection. So mindfulness is always watching your mind. It's one portion of mind always watching over the design concentrational mind, whether that concentrational mind able is achieving the necessary requirement, the level of these three characteristic, clarity, single pointed focus, and plancy. So the mindfulness is always watching. So mindfulness is actually holding the three characteristic to your meditative mind. Introspection is the one is watching from behind, whether mindfulness is managing these three job or not, managing, holding on these three job or not, or watching whether the mindfulness mind is making the meditative mind in a full force or not. You see, so whenever the introspective mind will realize when the obstacles of laxity or excitement comes in, then inform the mindfulness. Then mindfulness kind of organize or reorganize the meditation. So that's the process, you see. So the laxity is very much dull mind, like sleepy mind, or low energy, low depressed mind. That's the laxity. So when you train in single pointed concentration, whenever you feel falling asleep, obstacle is already occurred. You need to be very alert, full alert. Whenever you feel down, laxities occurred. So even though they are antidotes, and the mindfulness introspection is the one, but mindfulness introspection also need conditional support whenever they need to challenge with these two obstacles. So whenever there's excitement, then you pause the meditation, then you meditate. You meditate on compassion, thinking the relative world of three lower realms like hell realm, samsara, etc. Then your mind will bring bit calm, bit grounded. So whenever laxity occurs, then teach us to meditate on you pause and then meditate on precious human rebirth, meditate on the benefit of shamatha, benefit of practicing dharma, benefit of pure land, benefit of Buddha's realm. So that will uplift you, then you wake up from that sleepiness or dull mind, so then so this journey, training through the 9 stages of the mind, also there are other forces like such as 6 forces and 4 attentions, along the training on the 9 stages of the mind, so that will detail I will discuss later. And also there's a short note that prepared for shamatha meditation guide, so we'll send to Annie, and Annie will share with the email, so that you can use that for shamatha retreats, shamatha daily training. I even put this timeline, like when to start the session, etc. Then you want to learn very detailed on the shamatha. So I've done one quite detailed course on this. So in my blog you can look at the ebook, the name by serenity. So the book was the blog is tenzinzopa.com. Then there's the ebook section. So you can find both actually there, the shamatha meditation as well as the serenity. Serenity is a detailed explanation. The shamatha meditation is meditational guide, just about 1 page or 2 page only, So that's my excuse. I don't need to go through. So then also as for the Buddhist vows, the 46 secondary vows, 18 root vows, I think maybe by now you may already have the email, so you can go through that. Unfortunately, I still haven't done to put into the blog. I think not in the blog. So okay, now we have 5 minutes. Okay, so it says, all Buddha says the cause for the completion of the collections, whose nature is merit and exalted wisdom, is the development of higher perception. So all the Buddhas, including Shakyamuni Buddha, say that the main cause for the completions of the collections, such as a merit of method, merit of wisdom, whose nature is a merit and exalted wisdom, is referring to that, is the development of higher perception, the development of the mind. So without the serviceable mind, even we, I think our sister at the corner, said that if you don't have this, I don't know how to put it, but you need to have the kick, isn't it? You need to have the kick. So whatever you do, even in virtue, if you have the kick, then like the motivation, then you're going to be a great amount of collection of merit, something like that, isn't it? Something like that. Yeah, you didn't say like that, but I say this is my way of saying. When we say if the dinner is very delicious, we say, oh, this dinner is like got a kick. So maybe it's my expression, I don't know. So anyway, when even you even though bodhicitta is so powerful, emptiness wisdom is so powerful, but then if you don't have the performer, the usage of the bodhicitta and wisdom, the serviceable mind, the shamatha mind, then there's no kick. So when you have the shamatha mind, then that's it. Even something, but so without the shamatha mind, the accumulation or the impact of merit may take 100 eons time. With the shamatha mind, within moment you achieve the purpose like that. So that's what meaning. So so then 35. Just as a bird with the undeveloped wing cannot fly in the sky, those without the power of higher perception cannot work for the good of living beings. So if our own emotion is not stable, it's very difficult to really have a sustainable being in the service of others. So you need to have a stability of courage, stability of motivation, stability of inspiration, stability of like stable compassion, stable love, just emotional love. You're so happy, you help, and then after that sudden disappointment, you give up. So that is because of we don't have that serviceable mind. The moment you have the shamatha mind, then everything becomes stable. Then verse 36, the merit gained in the single day by those who possess higher perception cannot be gained even in the 100 lifetimes by one without such a higher perceptions. So this is what I said before. Then verse 37, those who want swiftly to complete the collections of full enlightenment will accomplish higher perception through effort, not through laziness. So from the five faults, one of them is laziness. So at the beginning you need to overcome the laziness. So for shamatha practice, we'll highlight later, when you find the 6 conducive conditions and there are 6 preparatory practices, when all this equip, then with the full diligence, if you train in shamatha, say even within 6 months you can achieve shamatha. 6 months, So, but you need this criteria, 6 conditions, external 6 conducive conditions, 6 preparatory conditions. Then verse 38, without the attainment of karma biting, higher perception will not occur. Therefore, make repeated effort to accomplish the karma biting. So now here, based on this higher precept, which at the first verse, the higher precept actually referring to omniscient. It's not referring to shamatha. So I'm wrong. My explanation is wrong. So the verse 34 say, all Buddhas say the cause for complete collections of merit and whose nature is the merit and excellent wisdom is the development of higher perception. Is the development of higher perception. Okay, now the higher perception, I think here it's development of the higher perception. So this higher perception has to refer to special insight. On the verse 34, the higher perception refer to special insight, the wisdom realizing emptiness, that which on the basis of shamatha mind. So in order to achieve that, then now you look at the verse 38. Without the attainment of karma binding, higher perception, which is special insight, will not occur. So therefore, make repeated effort to accomplish karma binding. So karma binding is a serenity. Then verse 39. While the conditions for karma binding are incomplete, meditative stabilization will not be accomplished even if one meditate extemporaneously for thousands of years. So this is talking about the intake of the 8 antidotes, the knowledge of what are the faults, like such as 5 faults, then the help of the 6 forces, 4 attentions, also definition of the 9 different level of the mind. We need to know, whenever we progress, we need to know where we are so that we can upgrade ourselves. Then also the preparatory 6 conditions, then preliminary, the 6 preliminary practices. So while all this condition for karma binding is incomplete, then even you meditate, meditate for a long time, you will not achieve it, Then also knowing, these 3 qualities of the single pointed mind, we need to know, because otherwise we won't know what to expect, what to cultivate, isn't it? How to determine that you are meditating correctly. So all this detail, I think I will do tomorrow. Thus, maintaining well the conditions mentioned in the collections of meditative stabilization chapter. This meditative stabilization chapter is composed by the great pandit Buddhibhadra. So he has this text. So in there he explained all this teaching detail. Place the mind. So thus maintaining well the condition mentioned in the collection for meditative stabilization chapter. Place the mind on any one virtuous focal object. One focused virtual object. So for Buddhist meditation on single pointed concentration, suggested to use something meritorious object, because you may need to spend long time in single pointedness and you do not wish to your time accumulating merit beside whatever merit you accumulate from that meditation only. So if you choose like Buddha's body or speech or stupa or mantras, then the object has its benefit of conditioning to accumulate merit. So this is what I'm talking about. And another important thing is, as I mentioned before, once you start to train in single pointed concentration, then you have to decide what object to choose. So how many times you fail, you cannot change the object. Okay. Yes. Then for the preliminary training in the single pointed concentration, as I mentioned before, you first is to determine what object you're going to choose for your long-term retreat. Secondly is to have a basic mental stability, which how to determine that in the Lama Tsongkhapa's teaching in Lamrim is first to achieve 24 minutes of stability on the chosen object. It can be anything, light or whatever. 24 minutes. Then after that, half an hour. After that, then you try to achieve that stability for 1 hour. Then after that, 3 hours. Then after that, then you can start Shamatha retreat. So then maybe 6 months time. After that would be possible. Yeah, so yeah, like that. Thank you. Shi Peki Choshi Mendo Tram Rira Pleshe Nyende Gyemba Sanje Shindu Migde Bewaye Drukwe Jemara Esho Rabden Je Namga Tele Chojo Gyemba Dan Losan Tembe Dreme Sasum Dove Muse Dadu Yen Gyuro Eche Ye Dama Guru Rana Mendala Kamneya Taya Me Gari Rave Gove Shingam De Pendan Dewa Mali Chuven Chere Sewa Tenzin Jazo Ye Shabe Sedeba Tenjuro Eche. Thank you. So it's a bit late, so I will stop here. Good night. Oh yes, we are having dinner, isn't it? So we offer the dinner offering. Omo ahung